Okay, so welcome to this tutorial of the behavior tree prototype. I'm Sofian Audrey, and so this is a presentation of this prototype that is part of the qualified self project. So I just want to show you first how to make. So in this first tutorial, this first part of the tutorial, I'm just going to show you the very basics and how to get started. So I'm running a Linux, but it should be very similar on other platforms. Inside the folder of the behavior tree prototype, you get a folder called data, where you have a bunch of files. You shouldn't touch these files. And you're gonna have this file called config.json, which allows you to change some configuration options, which you should do before you actually start the prototype. I think by default you're probably gonna find something like this. Okay, config.default.json. This is sort of just a template to get started. You can, for example, either copy and paste this file or just rename it. And what you need to do is you need to have a file called config.json, not config.default.json, config.json. If you open it, you have these OSC, Open Sound Control configuration options. The OSC receive port is the port where I'm going to receive messages on my machine incoming from other programs. And the OSC send port and send IP is where I'm going to send my OSC messages. So of course, like if you're by default this is the local host, but if you want to share information with a program that runs on another machine, you need to come here and set the IP address of that machine before actually starting the program. Okay, so I'm going to start the program. I do it from the command line. Doesn't matter, it might be from, depending on your platform, it might be you might just click on an app. But from this point on, it's going to be really, really similar because this is a Java program, processing program. So when you start the behavior tree prototype, you have two windows, and I suggest that you just place them like this, left and right. And here on this is the main window where you're going to build your tree structure. And in that window, you have at the top a toolbar, and if you click on this button here, this is this brings up a reference of the different hotkeys you can use to make different kinds of actions to control the program. Each of these should be preceded by the control key. Okay, so for example, if it's written O here, if I press O, nothing's going to happen. Okay, but if I press Control O, then it's going to open a document or save as. Okay, so all of that's here. These are like, this is like the file menu, so it applies to, like, it just applies at large. They're very general actions. And the edit menu, these ones, or these commands, will apply only to the currently selected node, the currently selected item. I'll show that anyway later on, but I just wanted to show you this help menu. And just as a reference here, if you go on the GitHub and at this address, GitHub/qualified self/Q control, then you go in. You're just going to go through it. Qualified self, Q control, prototypes, behavior tree prototype, and if you go and get the README, you'll have a repetition of that information, and also you'll have a reference of all the different nodes, which are basically the kinds of actions you can do in the program. Okay, so that's for the first window, and then the other window here is has two elements to it. On the top here, you get your blackboard, which is basically a set of global variables, and some variables are built in, and some of they're by default, and then some others you're going to be able to create to exchange information between your processes to complete your composition. And then the other part here is the console. So this is where you get like the program will log messages and warnings and errors. Okay. So just very quickly, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to run the program once. It's going to take a second. Control space to run the program. It immediately finishes because it's an empty program. But I just wanted to show you that. See, it created these built-in variable, mouse X, mouse Y. This is the number of seconds since the start of the program. If there was a key that was pressed, there was, because I was pressing Control Space at the time where I started it, and which key did I press. So we don't see it here, but it's probably a space. So so that's it for now. In the next tutorial, I'm gonna start introducing nodes and particular and how to use Blackboard variables. As well as a kind of a new, special kind of node called the sequence.